Romans believed that if you saw your reflection in water during a thunderstorm, you would die within a year. They thought sneezing during a business meeting meant the gods disapproved of the deal. And they were convinced that wearing your toga backwards could protect you from lightning strikes. These weren't fringe beliefs. These were mainstream superstitions followed by senators, emperors, and the most educated people in the ancient world. I'm your host, and what you're about to discover will blow your mind. The same civilization that built incredible engineering marvels and conquered the known world also believed in superstitions so ridiculous they make modern conspiracy theories look rational. Hit subscribe right now, because these 8 bizarre Roman beliefs will make you question how intelligent civilizations can believe absolutely insane things. The intelligence paradox. But here's what makes these superstitions truly mind-blowing. They were believed by the same Romans who created advanced mathematics, sophisticated legal systems, and military strategies that we still study today. These weren't primitive people. They were highly educated individuals who somehow convinced themselves that complete nonsense was scientific fact. We're counting down 8 superstitions that get progressively more ridiculous. And I'm warning you, superstition number 1 was so absurd that even other ancient civilizations thought Romans were crazy for believing it. But first, let's start with something that seems almost reasonable until you think about it for 5 seconds. Superstition 8, the deadly reflection. Romans genuinely believed that seeing your reflection in water during a thunderstorm was a death sentence from the gods. Not just bad luck, actual guaranteed death within 1 year. Wealthy Romans would cover all reflective surfaces and avoid going near water when storms approached. Roman scholars had elaborate explanations for why this worked. Lightning was Jupiter's anger, water was a conduit to the underworld, and your reflection during storms showed Jupiter your face so he could find you later to kill you. Think about this level of paranoia. Every time it rained, Romans were literally afraid to look at puddles. Imagine being so terrified of your own reflection that thunderstorms sent you hiding indoors with all the mirrors covered. This superstition was so widespread that Roman houses often had special storm shutters designed not just to keep rain out, but to prevent accidental glimpses of reflections in wet surfaces. But if you think being afraid of your own reflection is crazy, wait until you hear what Romans believed about sneezing. Superstition 7, the sneeze prophecy system. Romans had an entire system of sneeze interpretation that determined business deals, military decisions, and political appointments. A sneeze at the wrong moment could literally cancel treaties, postpone battles, or destroy careers. It wasn't just random. Romans had specific rules. Sneeze during morning meetings meant divine approval. Afternoon sneezes meant caution required. Evening sneezes meant abandon all plans immediately. Roman merchants would literally cancel major trade deals if someone sneezed at the wrong moment during negotiations. Millions of denarii in commerce were decided by involuntary nasal reactions. Picture this scenario. You're about to close the biggest business deal of your life, and someone sneezes. In Roman society, that deal is now cursed, and you must walk away immediately. How do you build an economy around random bodily functions? Superstition 6, the backwards toga. Lightning protection. Romans believed that wearing your toga backwards created a magical shield against lightning strikes. During storms, you'd see senators and wealthy citizens walking around in backwards togas, looking absolutely ridiculous but convinced they were protected. The logic was that lightning traveled in straight lines, but a backwards toga would confuse the lightning bolts and make them miss their target. Yes, Romans thought they could trick lightning with clothing. This created awkward social situations, because togas were status symbols, but wearing them backwards made you look like an idiot. Romans had to choose between looking dignified and potentially being killed by Jupiter. Even emperors followed this superstition, leading to the surreal sight of the most powerful men in the world walking around in backwards clothing because they were afraid of weather. Superstition 5, the left foot doom prophecy. Romans believed that stepping out of your house with your left foot first guaranteed a day of misfortune. This wasn't just bad luck, it was cosmic doom that would ruin everything you attempted until you slept and reset the curse. Roman households developed elaborate rituals to ensure the right foot touched the ground first each morning. Slaves were employed specifically to watch their masters' feet and warn them if they were about to step incorrectly. Some wealthy Romans actually redesigned their doorways to make left foot first stepping physically impossible, creating awkward architectural features that forced right foot stepping through geometric design. Here's how crazy this got. Romans would rather return home and restart their entire day than continue with left foot bad luck. Imagine being so paralyzed by foot superstition that you can't leave your house normally. Superstition 4. The evil eye protection phallus. Romans were obsessed with the evil eye, the belief that jealous people could curse you just by looking at you with envy. Their solution? Wearing phallic amulets called fascines that were supposed to distract evil spirits and protect against curses. These weren't hidden, they were displayed openly on jewelry, clothing, buildings, and even children's toys. Roman society was covered in protective penises because they genuinely believed anatomical symbols could stop magical attacks. Roman parents put phallic amulets on their babies and children, convinced that without these symbols, evil spirits would curse their offspring with disease, accidents, or death. What makes this truly bizarre is how completely normal it was. Roman dinner parties would feature guests comparing their protective amulets and discussing which designs offered the best evil eye protection. Superstition 3. The moon madness. Menstruation theory. Romans believed that women's menstrual cycles were directly controlled by moon phases, and that menstruating women during full moons became temporarily insane with magical powers that could damage crops, sour wine, and kill livestock just by being present. During full moon menstruation, Roman women were literally quarantined away from farms, wineries, and food preparation areas because their presence was considered magically toxic to everything around them. Roman farmers would check lunar calendars and women's cycles before planning harvests, convinced that the wrong combination could destroy entire crops through feminine lunar magic. Think about this level of absurdity. Romans believed that women became magical crop-destroying witches once a month based on moon phases. How do you organize society around the idea that half your population is periodically dangerous? Superstition 2. The bird poop prophecy system. Romans had professional bird poop interpreters called augurs, who could supposedly predict the future based on where birds defecated. Different locations, colors, and consistencies of bird droppings revealed different divine messages. Major political decisions were actually delayed or changed based on bird defecation patterns. Roman senators would consult augurs who analyzed recent bird poop to determine whether proposed laws had divine approval. Roman armies carried augurs who examined bird droppings before battles to determine whether the gods favored their chances. Military strategies were modified based on where birds had recently pooped. Professional poop interpretation was actually a prestigious career in Rome. Augurs were respected government officials whose bird dropping analysis influenced policy decisions throughout the empire. Superstition 1. The ritual nail sacrifice. The most ridiculous Roman superstition involved driving iron nails into sacred trees while reciting specific prayers to prevent natural disasters, plagues, and military defeats. But here's the crazy part. They believed the nails had to be driven in during specific astronomical alignments, while the person doing it was completely naked and hadn't eaten for 3 days. Roman officials would literally strip naked, fast for days, then hammer nails into trees at precise astronomical moments while crowds watched, convinced this bizarre ritual could control natural forces and divine anger. This wasn't fringe behavior, it was official state policy. The Roman government had designated nail-driving officials whose job was performing these naked tree ceremonies to protect the empire from supernatural threats. Even emperors participated, leading to the surreal spectacle of the most powerful men in the world standing naked in forests, hammering nails into trees while astrologers ensured proper cosmic timing. Picture this. The same civilization that built the Colosseum and conquered Britain also believed that naked people hitting trees with hammers could control natural disasters. How does that level of cognitive dissonance even exist? The psychology of educated superstition. How did highly intelligent Romans believe such obviously ridiculous things? The answer reveals something disturbing about human psychology. Intelligence doesn't protect against superstition when entire cultures normalize irrational beliefs. When everyone around you believes something, questioning it becomes psychologically difficult regardless of how smart you are. Romans saw respected leaders following these superstitions, making them seem legitimate and rational. These superstitions also served psychological functions. They gave Romans the illusion of control over unpredictable forces like weather, disease, and military outcomes through ritual behavior. Romans selectively remembered when superstitions worked, while forgetting failures, creating false evidence that reinforced irrational beliefs across generations. The modern parallel. Warning. Before we laugh too hard at Romans, consider that modern societies also hold widespread beliefs that future historians might find equally ridiculous. Intelligence alone doesn't protect against collective irrationality. Roman superstitions show that educational achievement doesn't eliminate susceptibility to absurd beliefs when they're culturally normalized and socially reinforced. When respected authorities endorse irrational beliefs, intelligent people often follow regardless of evidence, creating cycles of educated irrationality that can persist for centuries. And there you have it, 8 Roman superstitions so bizarre they make modern conspiracy theories look reasonable. The same people who created engineering marvels and legal systems that we still use today also believed that naked tree hammering could control natural disasters. This proves that intelligence and superstition aren't opposites. They can coexist in the same minds and the same societies, creating cognitive dissonance that seems impossible but happens throughout human history. Which Roman superstition shocked you the most? The naked nail ceremony? The bird poop prophecy system? The backwards toga lightning protection? Let me know in the comments, and tell me what modern beliefs you think future historians will find equally ridiculous. If you love discovering the weird side of history that reveals uncomfortable truths about human psychology, you absolutely need to subscribe right now. Next week I'm revealing Roman torture methods, so systematic they turned cruelty into a science. Hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and remember, just because smart people believe something doesn't make it true, and just because something is widely accepted doesn't make it rational. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next chapter of history.